Hey guys, Grady here, and I'm doing another giant size X-Men Colossal figure review. And as you can see here, I've got the two Sentinels, Mark 5 and Mark 2. And I'll be going over them today. If you want to see the Apocalypse review I've already done, click right here-ish. And if you want to see the Onslaught and Frost Giant one, click right here-ish. So, this is the Mark II, and this is the Mark V. You know, the differences are obvious by appearance: purple and blue and silver. And as you can see, they've got blasts. You can change those out. I don't, because I think it makes them look more dynamic. That's obviously Wolverine in a blast, and you can pop it out and put just a regular blast in there. And then in the freeze ray is Cannonball, and you can pop off his hand and just put a normal hand there. But again, I like the dynamic look of that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Mark II, which is the purple one here. As you can see, he's a flyer with 10 range, 2 lightning bolts, Colossal and Indomitable, and Single Fist, of course. They've not made a duo Colossal yet, but I'm waiting for it. I'm popping off his bottom because it's just easier. Oh, and he is available at 300 points. Put him in the background right there. So let's go ahead and start on his dial. Alright, he's got 10, 11, 17, 4 with his first special power starting out, which is Incinerate. If Sentinel Mark II rolls doubles with a successful attack roll, the damage dealt by the attack is penetrating and can't be evaded. So yeah, he just has to roll doubles, and all 4 of that's going through. They can't super senses out of it, and they can't mastermind. I believe evaded. Not being able to evade it means that they can't mastermind it off too. But you can still shape change out of it, because you know you do that before the attack roll. Alright, so he goes from invuln to toughness, gets a defense, gets an attack, loses a defense, but goes back to invuln. Loses running shot, gets psychic blast and energy explosion. You know, he alternates pretty well through the first half of his dial between toughness and invuln. He loses another attack, and then he gets his next 2 white boxes. The first one being Hunter Killer. When Sentinel Mark II KOs a character after actions resolve, remove an action token from it. If the KO'd character possessed the Brotherhood of Mutants or X-Men keyword or team ability, remove all action tokens instead. And then his defense white box is Instant Adaptation. Modify Sentinel Mark II's defense value by +1 for each previous attack targeting him this turn. Now, as you can probably tell, they are built to fight off swarm teams. You know, every time you kill somebody, they're meant to pick off little guys. They don't have a damage reducer with that instant adaptation, which is a really big downside. But he gets range combat expert, so he's pushing a total of 5. Still has there, loses a defense, loses an attack. And then there he gets outwit, still has outwit, continuing to lose stats. Then he gets Pulse Wave and Perplex, and back to Invuln with Running Shot. Yeah, Robotic Revolution is the name of the Perplex. I had to make sure that that's what it was. Loses his Running Shot, which kind of sucks. Gets Regen, and back to the Incinerate special power. And then he gets back on the offense, and then he's up. And what's nice about the Pulse Wave now is that it's not as easy just to lock them up and then be done with them. Due to the new rules, you can Pulse Wave in adjacency. So, you'll always be able to Pulse Wave. 300 points, and like I said, they're both, and you'll see a pattern on the next one too, that they're both just meant to take out large teams. Alright, so now we have the Sentinel Mark V, and he is a flyer, 8 range, 2 lightning bolts, single fist, Indom, and Colossal, and he is available at 2 point costs. You can't really see it. There it is, 400 and 200. So let's go ahead and pop him off his base. Let's see. And on the very first click, you can see he starts out pretty strong, 10, 10, 18, 3. But that quickly turns to 5 if you don't have to running shot to use it. And he gets his first white box, which is Phrygia Beam. Sentinel Mark 5 can use Incapacitate. When it does and hits, choose one. A character can't be moved by any game effect until your next turn, or a hit character receives 2 action tokens. That's really good. Because he's got 2... because he's got 2 lightning bolts, that means that you can dish out 4 action tokens in a single attack. And there's nothing on these. A lot of people think is that you can't put feats on colossals. That's not true. You can totally feat these guys up. So if you really wanted to just intensify his deadliness, you know, put Stunning Blow on him, and you'll still be able to do that 3 damage with your Incapacitate. So let's see here. 10, 10, 18, 3. Then he gets Force Blast, loses the running shot. Loses an attack. Gets Psychic Blast and Toughness. Loses the Range Combat Expert, so he kind of ducks down pretty hard there. And then he gets his second white box along with the Phrygia Beam. Analyze Contain. Sentinel Mark 5 can use Outwit. Sentinel Mark 5 can use it normally, or Sentinel Mark 5 can use it targeting each opposing character with 2 action tokens that is within 10 squares and line of fire. You may counter a different power on each character. So the nice combination with that is, like I said, you can put 2 tokens on 2 different figs with his Phrygia Beam. So that means you attack, token up 2 people, and outwit them. You know, if you're worrying about a charge or a running shot, just outwit them. And then he gets Energy Shield and Enhancement. Gets Super Strength, loses one of his white boxes, and there's Regen, loses Enhancement, loses Super Strength, and then this is the point where he's at his 200 point cost. This is where you start him, and as you can see, he's got the Phrygia Beam attack, Charge, Invuln, and Close Combat Expert. I believe it's called like Crush, Squeeze, my bad. And then he's got Flurry, Squeeze, Phrygia Beam, Invuln, same thing. And then he's got Charge, Super Strength, and Exploit Weakness with Toughness. Same click, same stats. And then he gets Phrygia Beam with Analyze Contain again. Loses a damage power though, loses a defense too. And then he gets back to Enhancement with Energy Shield. Still has both of his white boxes. Goes back to Super Strength with Energy Shield. And then he gets Regen again, loses Enhancement, still has Super Strength. Then he loses pretty much everything except for the Analyze, Contain, and Regen. And that is click 20. So for 400 points, you get 20 clicks. That's not bad. But like I said, these guys aren't meant to go against tentpole teams. They are meant to go against swarms. They will absolutely tear swarms to shreds. Just because they have so many multi-target things. And of course, you know, they've got Robot Keyword, and there's the Toys R Us exclusives that are of cheaper point costs that you can buy that I just haven't acquired yet, but when I do, you guys will be the first ones to know. So there you go. There's the Sentinels, Mark 2 and Mark 5. What do you guys think about them? Have you played with them, played against them, have some victory stories, some horror stories maybe? I've heard a lot of people actually have bad luck with them, but like I said, I think it's because they try to play them all the time, and you really have to think about metagame before you play them, because if your guy's going to be playing a tentpole, these guys are going to get taken down. Their stats are very moderate for their high point costs, but both of them have multiple targets, and they will tear multiple targets to shreds. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the future. Play on.